Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of 21-year-old Ukrainian model Daria Bulba, who disappeared from Shanghai on August the 6th in 2016. She'd gone there initially to do modeling work. She was a model, and in her small town in Ukraine she wasn't able to get enough work, so the agency that she was with advised her to go looking for work, or at least accepting jobs in other countries, so that's how she ended up in Shanghai. And she seemed to enjoy working there for the time that she was there. She was in daily contact with her parents, and on the 5th of August there was a storm, so her mother called her and asked if she was alright, and she assured her mother that she was fine, and then told her that she was going to go working somewhere on the weekend and she wasn't going to be able to get in touch during that time. But after the weekend had come and gone, she was still not getting back in touch with her parents, so they started to worry. The friend roommate was asked, at least she had a couple of roommates that became friends, and they said that she had told them that she wasn't going to work that weekend, but she was going to go meet with an unknown friend. And this unknown friend had tried to meet with her 2 times before, but had cancelled both of those initial 2 times, and this was the 3rd time. So something about Shanghai and China in general is that they tend to have a lot of CCTV everywhere. So wherever you go in China, most places you're going to have a camera looking at you and probably several looking at you. A lot of them have facial recognition as well. So if somebody was walking around Shanghai, it shouldn't be difficult to track them. Turns out that she was walking past a river, and she had walked into a blind spot, a CCTV blind spot, and that's where she disappeared. Now, this blind spot, of course, is surrounded by other areas that are covered by CCTV, so it's not like there was a blind spot that led out of the city or anything like that. In any case, police was contacted and helped look for her, and their idea was, oh, we've got her on CCTV, and she's wearing headphones, and she appears to be dancing, and she may be on some type of substances. Probably she slipped and fell into the water and drowned. But the bays and the river has been searched, and they couldn't find anything that would relate to her. No clothing, no other items or anything along those lines. Now, one of the models that she was a friend with said afterwards that she had seen Daria some nights after she disappeared at a nightclub. She had seemed out of it, and when this friend called out to Daria, she looked up, and then 2 men had come and taken her away. So there's like a potential sighting there. It's not sure if that was true or not, or if she just came up with that to get the police more interested in looking for her. In any case, the parents do not believe that she fell into the river. Her father has actually come to Shanghai to do his own investigating, and he noticed that his hotel room was searched multiple times while he was out. So that's also very odd. They did think that they had more information now on this friend that they went to meet, and this may have been one of her former lovers whom she had once been in a relationship with, and then they broke up, and they had this bit of a weird thing going back and forth where they would occasionally meet up, and then I guess ignore each other again for a while. I don't know too much about him, but I heard something that he thought that she owed him money, at least he claimed that. Don't know what the story is behind that. So nothing much solid evidence there either, nor has anybody seen Daria since that last potential sighting. So I was asked to do a reading on this case, and we're going to do that starting off with the Terra Mucha, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Muse deck, which is this one. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the cards. As soon as I have a table full of them, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Well, this is a first. We're starting off with 3 rows instead of 2. Let's get started at the top left as per usual, though we have the Hermit here, and it is followed by the Ten of Cups, which is normally like a celebration card or gift from heaven, that type of thing. And I feel like this is more of a dream scenario than actual reality. Like in the Hermit mode, she may have secretly wished for something like this to come true, or that is what she thought the future was going to hold. Something like that. Like once she came out of her cave to shine her light elsewhere, this is what she expected, basically. Then we have here the Nine of Swords, so there is definitely a lot of anxiety here. We also have the Moon, which is hidden intentions, secrets, emotions, perhaps. So even they were hoping for a perfect dream scenario, it may be a nightmare. At least they are worried about that. That might be what they're heading into. They might be trying to figure out what's going on here. Maybe that's also why we start off with the Hermit, because the Hermit tends to turn inward and potentially tries to seek answers that way. The Hermit is not the High Priestess though, so I don't know if the Hermit can always look past the veil. But in any case, she may have given it an attempt and it didn't quite work out, because the next 3 cards that we see here are the Tower in reverse and the Nine of Cups in reverse. So the Tower is normally a thing crashing down, something that happens abruptly, negative surprises, big changes, that type of thing. And it is in reverse, which I would normally see as something being held off, or maybe not wanting to believe that there is a big thing happening here. But it could also be internal, because we also see here the Nine of Cups, which is also in reverse. So not the open, public, happy situation is what's presenting itself. Could be that she's now internally deeply unhappy and there is an internal struggle. The internal tower is falling down, so to speak. So maybe there are things happening on the outside that she is trying to contain internally, even though things feel like they're really falling apart in that moment. So something may have happened right there that was not supposed to show on the outside, even though she was definitely very much upset by it. This could be the moment where she ends up in that blind spot and she gets a confrontation with people and there's just things happening that she's just not on board with. But for whatever reason, she has to choose to keep her thing inside, because maybe the consequences would have been worse if she had actually spoken up or done something at that time. Gotta move these out of the way for a bit, otherwise we can't get to the cards underneath. We have the Eight of Swords. Okay, that is sort of a mental entrapment that you could have stepped out of. It may also be that she is choosing to trap herself mentally, perhaps also again for some type of survival instinct, because we have here the Queen of Pentacles, which is somebody who's very practical. Doesn't have to be very happy. As you can see, she does not look very pleased, but she's practical, and that means that she has all the bounty around her because she's made certain choices that may not have always been the best or the easiest to make, but it is something that led her to these riches type of thing. So she may be making some practical considerations here, not necessarily saying that she is looking at riches like this queen is, but more like there are just certain things that she can and she cannot do in the situation. And perhaps she's just trying to be wise rather than passionate in that sense, which is also why she's hiding emotions. We have next the Ace of Swords upright. We have the Cup, or the Ace of Cups rather, in reverse. So once again, we are looking at making decisions that may not be the best. They may be cold, they may be sudden, and maybe only made with rationality rather than emotions, and emotions are once again suppressed. She could be running into people whom she may have thought, or maybe they think that they're going to make some type of connection with her, but she's just kind of like doing things like going through the motions for her own practical needs, is what I'm seeing with these two combined. Then we have the Four of Cups, not really having an option here, not really looking at any of the choices as a potential victor, or winner rather. And then we have the Two of Wands. So we are looking out across the vast expanses, potentially wishing for travel plans to come about. having ways out, that type of thing. So we're not exactly spoiled for choice. We're trying to keep things cool. We're trying to keep things practical. And we're hoping that we are eventually going to be able to go places that will then hopefully lead to more positive futures. Now let's get these guys back into the mix. So we have here the Sun on the left, and we have the Ten of Swords next to that. So we're going to have to take a look at the further cards, but the first thing that popped into my head when I saw the Sun was potentially there is a new child or something. And then we have the Ten of Swords in reverse, which is normally like worrying about things. It could be that she's very much worried about their future, or maybe worried what this will bring. Maybe she's not supposed to bring anybody into the world in her current circumstances. I don't know. Let's take a look when we have over here. We have a King of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. So we're trying to make a choice here, and we may be set to make this choice by a certain King of Pentacles who may be also just trying to be practical with things, and she may now be faced with a choice. I do feel like this may be her having to choose between keeping or giving it up. And the choice may not be entirely hers, but at least it feels like she does have the option. I think in this situation, this person may have said, like, you know what, you have a couple of options here. I would suggest that you choose wisely. And then she went into this mode where she had to go and make up her mind, basically. The Six of Swords is normally a card where we go with other people to a new location, but we're not actually doing that here. Maybe potentially thinking about running away with somebody, but the Hanged Man is in reverse, which makes him look like he's upright, and basically we're not taking any new perspective here. So maybe if she had had a different perspective, she could have made a different choice, or she could have gone different roads, different routes. But it looks like she is purposely not choosing those, like not looking to I guess let other people choose for her, maybe, because usually the person in the back is not, like the person who is ferrying the boat is not the subject of the card. It would be the people sitting in front of the boat. So normally the Six of Swords would be like somebody or something taking you to another location, or perhaps also influencing your thoughts, because of course the swords are words and thoughts. But this way in reverse next to our reversed Hanged Man, like there's no different perspective, or her perspective is forced on her and she doesn't really want to go with other people's perspective, maybe. So maybe she's hanging on to a certain set of thoughts that she hopes will guide her in the right direction. Let's see what happens next. Oh, okay, that's on the floor. We have Three of Cups in reverse, so we're not exactly joining in with people, like celebrating or joining in with their whatever emotional state they're in. Two of Voices, Two of Swords again, so perhaps not able to make any choices. The Moon is in reverse, so I do feel like this Moon in reverse is a revelation of certain things. So maybe here she has a falling out because certain things are coming to light, and she now feels like there is only one choice. Like before, she had this King of Pentacles telling her, okay, well, you can do this or you can do that, try to figure it out. And now we're trying to, I guess, hang on to one of the options, because the other is now no longer an option, because the Moon has revealed something that was previously hidden, which has caused for disharmony over here. So there's that. They may have had a falling out because perhaps one of the choices turned out not to be an option at all, and now she knows that for sure. Seems as though, whoops, there's a rather large stack over here. We're not going to take all of it. Oh, okay, there was already one on the table, and there's two extras. Let's take a look at you. The Lovers. Okay, so perhaps we are trying to make a connection with somebody new here, and they may be trying to reach out to them, perhaps for help or a new connection to help her in a situation, potential out, or another opinion maybe. Let's take a look. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, so now we are definitely happier with this person, and she's being once again very practical. with the Queen of Swords, which is the Queen of Voices in this deck. So maybe she's making a practical, rational consideration to go for a certain person, even though the heart may not be involved in this decision, but there is a happy outcome there. So maybe whatever choice that she wanted to make that became unavailable here was available with somebody else, like that type of switch here, that she's going to another person perhaps, and they are able to offer what she wants, and it may not be perfect, which is what the Queen of Voices or the Queen of Swords is pointing towards, but at least it's better than what she had before, and it's more in line with her own hopes and dreams, I guess, here with the 10 of Cups. Let's see what else we can get. Oh, that's quite a large stack. Okay. We have the Muse of Voices, so that is the Muse of Swords. I'm guessing this is the King because this deck does not have kings. So that means we are having even more thoughts. Let's take a look. I'm going to put these like this for now. They don't need to all be on the side, but the Muse does for some reason. Now we have here the Six of Inspiration, which is Wands. So she may be in a situation where she is coming up with new ideas, new thoughts, and these are leading to success because she is in the limelight. She may be very much popular in this moment, just able to make ends meet or make do basically in her new environment. Then we have an awakening. This is judgment. Could be that she takes a look at her situation now that she has a moment because things seem to be on the up and up, and now she has a certain realization that this is not perhaps what she wants. In any case, there may be some judgment of herself, of her previous actions as well. The Tower is here, so perhaps we are now trying to completely overhaul the system that we had rolled into and kind of accepted, but it's not what we really wanted, which I think is what the awakening is pointing towards anyway. And then we have here the Page of Cups in reverse, which is a negative, sudden surprise, emotional surprise, and the Six of Voices, which is again the Six of Swords. So we are trying to maybe go places, maybe people are trying to take us places. We had that one earlier as well, the Six of Swords, and I'm thinking that this may be an attempt to move her to another location. Don't know why, but maybe we can figure that out in a moment, because it looks as though everything seemed to be good from here to here, and then it was like what's going on? And then suddenly we have a whole chaotic situation here with potentially us trying to go other places, or her in this case, not us. Let's see what happens next. So it looks as though she may have been with two different groups or people previously up until this point. And we might be considering a new change of the situation, basically. Okay, that one almost flipped, but didn't quite. Okay, we have here the Devil on its side. There may be some connections that she is unwilling to give up. So maybe somebody's saying, hey, we need to get out of here. Come on, I have places you can go to. And she's like, I gotta weigh my options here. She's literally holding two people in her palms. Like on one hand, there's this, and on the other hand, there's that. What do I do in this situation? This is a very difficult situation to be in. I don't know what to choose, basically. That one, or these two. All right, okay, so now we are able to do things over here. We've got the Magician, which is usually a very capable person. They're able to control things in a way that will make things work out for them. And then we see the Three of Cups, so there is some harmony here at last. So maybe they've been able to deal with whatever it is that was holding them back initially and been quite successful in doing so, and that ended her in a better situation than she was before. So what about like now, because It's been 7 years. Let's see, 2016, about 8 years now, almost 8 years in August. Are we ever going to learn more about this situation? Are we ever going to find her? Which is not very forthcoming with answers at the moment. We're shuffling for a while and nothing's happening, so I'm going back to the Muse deck for that last question. Are we ever going to find anything about what happened to her? Are we going to see her again? What can we learn about that? Okay, another Muse, and again it drops on its side by itself, so we'll take the rest of it like this. Okay, but first of all we have here Muse of Inspiration, which is the King of Wands. There is some activity here. There's a lot of fire, and wands are always about action, so she may be taking some action here, something that's rather sudden, but also very powerful. So it's not like she can just walk out the door, possibly, but there's going to be a moment where perhaps she will be able to do that, or she will at least try. And there is a Four of Inspiration here, which is the Four of Wands, so there is some harmony over here, perhaps with a smaller group of like-minded individuals. These are all young women. Maybe she has connections, or she's able to make connections at some point, or she was able to make connections at some point. That could help her out after these actions, because we had some good vibes here already. Two Cups. All right, you might be finding somebody who's like-minded that they could perhaps make a connection with, which is good. We are not taking anything lightly here with the Fool in reverse. We're being very careful. And then again, we have the Sun. All right, so after a period of being very careful, we have a bright spot here, which could mean that things are really going her way. It could mean that there are new positive things in her life. Doesn't really say, of course, in very much detail, but I asked if we were going to see her again or learn more about her. Let's see what we can find out about that. All right. That took a while. Neither deck was particularly forthcoming with cards, but this one came out first. Let's take a look. We have here the Page of Voices, which is the Page of Swords. All right, so we may not be making the best, wisest choices at this time, maybe because she was so super positive over here. And now we have the Queen of Inspiration, which is the Queen of Wands. So again, she's taking more action, but now the action is based on this Page of Swords over here. So maybe the action is not the best that she could have taken, but let's take a look what the result of that is. We are doing well financially in this case, so maybe she was looking for some financial freedom that she would then be able to do stuff with. This may have come at the end of a risky maneuver here with these two combined, but at least she has some type of windfall there. Let's take a look what we can find. Okay, so now we have some movements. Maybe once she has all of this money or extra resources, time, etc., whatever it may be, she's able to actually move on her plans and ideas. Five of Inspiration, that's the Five of Wands in reverse, so there is a little to no struggle. It could be internal struggle though, because it's usually like a bit of a sparring situation. She may be having some thoughts and some doubts. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which is also kind of like a new beginning thing. And more fire, maybe perhaps mentally coming up with new ideas. You can see the sun burning in the background as well. So it may be that once she is able to break free due to some daring actions and find some type of group that will help support her, that she's going to form a connection with, she may then be able to make some rash decisions. This may be almost like the Great Escape, and then also manage to get a bunch of resources that she needs in order to get things moving. And then there will be perhaps a new dawn right here with the Ace of Wands. So we might be seeing her again at some point when she's able to cut some ties over here. This seems to be the big moment up until the rest of it. Previously she was with one person or one group and then switched to another person with another group, it seemed as though, and that seemed to have gone well for a while, and then there came a problem which was under here with the sun over there, and then things started to go downhill, but maybe she will be able to break free from that and then eventually, through some daring maneuvers, make it back home, or at least start a new page in her book. So that is what I'm seeing for Daria Bulba. I hope you found that interesting. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. If you want to subscribe, that also helps the channel a lot. Thank you very much in advance. I hope to see you in another video in any case. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.